Hey, thanks for checking out some of my gameplay videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my design process from the beginning of the project to the very end. This was my last project in one of my classes at DigiPen, where the point of the class was to prototype 3 games in 3 months. Now, the first 2 games had pre-selected genres that I had to create, but the third game, I got to pick my own genre, so I went with a poetic adventure game. I really liked one of the mechanics that I made in the first game of the semester, and so I wanted to take that, iterate on it, and try to make it even funner. Here's some example footage of that game. As you'll notice, the player can stick to the walls and move around by pressing the left and right bumper to control each individual part of the creature. And now, while some players found that extremely fun, some found it really confusing to pick up. And so I wanted to get rid of that confusion so the players can just have fun right away. The answer to that problem was to let the player use the right and left sticks to fly the creature around the area. This proved to be a lot funner gameplay as players just had fun just flying around. My next task was to find other mechanics that create a fun dynamic with this player movement, so I'd have players manipulate other objects in the environment to master the player controls. After the player had mastered the movement controls, I taught them the smash mechanic. I first started with stationary enemies so that the player can learn this new mechanic at their own pace before facing enemies that moved around. In the next area, I introduced moving enemies and how to kill them. At first in the game, I had the player be able to get hurt by the enemies and lose health, and if they lost all their health, then they have to restart the area. It just didn't seem that fun when that happened, so I just ended up having the player get stunned by enemies instead. At later areas of the game, I added all those mechanics together and gave the player a real challenge, but at the end of the day, I knew the player movement was the funnest part about the game, so I had the last segment of the game be a chase scene. I learned a lot while making this game, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Thanks for checking out my game, and enjoy the rest of this segment.